There was a fair bit of pressure on us this week, I felt, so I think the players understood that, and we knew it was going to go down to the wire, so we prepped for that as well. So nice little touch at the end there for Tony Clubb. No doubt we'll hear that go to about 80 metres over the next couple of weeks, but yeah, very proud of the team.
I thought first half, obviously field position and an opportunity to play down their end were limited, but I thought apart from the one blip on the right side for the try, I thought we held up defensively very, very well, having to defend his own half. And we thought if we could turn that on its head in the second half, we'd get opportunity to come back and win the game. And you know what, I thought we did. I thought we earned the right and a lot more field position, but we just couldn't find that killer punch on the end of it. Some of our good ball, we kicked the ball away a little bit impatiently at times, and came up with some pretty poor kick finishes. When you're down there, you need to mount a little bit more pressure than that, and we just couldn't find that killer play. We nearly did, and I thought the drop goal before half time, on the grand scheme of things, really came into it. We were 3 points down, not 2. We could have levelled that up a couple of times. I thought the drop goal were disappointing. I felt we should have had a penalty down that end. I think it was Sam Powell stood in the ruck, and maybe we could have had a penalty and been kicking 2 points on half time ourselves. But that's not why. That's certainly not why we lost. I thought in the grand scheme of things it played a part in the game, but we did have enough possession down there to come away with a little bit more. But I will credit the opposition. I thought defensively, they were pretty strong, and it took a couple of decent plays from both teams to prize open them defences.
I thought our first half, bar the last error, was probably our best half of rugby this season. So I know that once we nail that, because we're a lot more like the team we want to be tonight, I feel that we started the second half slowly, but to be able to win those tight games at this time of the year, I think it's real credit to the players. And we weren't perfect early in the second half. We put a fair bit of pressure on ourselves, so that's just the last part of improvement.
That third quarter, were you concerned that you were, here we go again?
Yeah, absolutely. But I've got trust in them. There's a lot of senior players there that have got more experience than anyone in the competition, I feel. So, it was probably our senior players that put us in that position, to be honest. But I felt that they also helped us get through that part. And we had set after set on our try line as well, and we just managed to, the 2 tries that Leeds scored they didn't sort of strip us down. They just fell over the line more or less. So.
Yeah.
We can fix that. And
a couple of young players in Partington and Morgan Smithies who made the mark today.
Yeah, I'm excited about them. I feel that they're going to be the players moving forward in the next year as part of the group. So, Partington scored tonight, so it was, he's always been on the fringe of playing in the team. He knows what he needs to do to get in the team every week, so I'm glad he's done that.
Yeah. Chris Hankerson had a great game as well, and especially kicking. Didn't miss one.
Yeah, look. I think making the decision for Sargentson to play fullback was more so that Hankinson could defend against Harrell and kick goals, really. I know, Morgan should have been there somewhere, but with our misses last week, I felt that hurt us a little bit, so we needed a goal kicker in there, and he's a goal kicker, so. But he's probably our best one-on-one defender as well, so I knew that they were going to get a Harrell a fair bit, which they did, and I thought he did a pretty good job.
The last try, whatever it sort of says on the scoreboard, I can understand why we're trying to chip and chase out of his own 20, because we've got to get the other end and score. Maybe he should have gone to the screen and see him drop it. I suppose it hurts our for and against a bit, but I still look at that and think we had enough possession second half to come through and create more opportunities than what we probably did. But having said that, I probably look at the bigger picture, and 3 or 4 weeks ago when we talked about a starting point, polishing up our good ball attack probably want the top of the list of priorities. So if we're talking about that's what we've got to work on moving forward, I think it's a real credit to the players that they're endeavouring to fix up what have been some of the difficult areas from this year. And again, I think defensively, we withstood a fair bit tonight.
I'm not one to look at the ladder every week, otherwise I'd be bald, stressed. But I think you know, we've talked about the group about just being in control of what we're in control of, which is our week-to-week performance. So whatever happens to the ladder, if we can just look after our own backyard, I'm sure the ladder will take care of itself in that regard.
Do you feel much more relieved now, though, with 2 wins under your belt this week?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a tough week, to be honest. Short turnaround, Sunday to Friday, a little bit of drama midweek. Players injured, you know, Hardacre, Flower, and still Joe Greenwood. So they're 3 representative players that didn't play tonight. And so bringing in a couple of young ones, it's always tough to go to Leeds and play Leeds even with your best team. So, you know, they're coming off the back of 2 wins, great wins, and we knew it was going to, like I said, go down the wire. So real good result for us.